Hello everybody. Today's video, I want to talk about how much I despise the 50-50 system. Right. Now, this is a given if you play really any of the mainstream gachas currently, because of, I believe, mainly Hoyo popularizing this gacha system. Many others afterwards, took place, and they tried to copy what Genshin basically did. And I am, tired of it. I couldn't really have a real stand on how much I hate this thing, because I didn't play any other gachas at the time without a 50-50. But now that I have, it really does make me realize just how shitty of a system this is, and how predatory any dev who implements this into any game that they have, how predatory they are, right? Now, you guys may be wondering what, caused this uptake, right? This kind of enlightenment moment of realizing how much you hate 50-50. And that is Bleach Soul Resonance. For those who don't know, it's a recently released Bleach gacha game. The gameplay is nothing crazy, but it's solid, right? And they have different patch lengths, such as 1 month instead of 1 month and a half, which you're used to. However, what really matters is the fact that everything on the limited banners in that game is guaranteed, right? Not only that, but the max pity on the character banner is 80, and the max pity on the weapon banner is 40. So even outside of the fact that both limited banners will always be guaranteed for the character you're going for, you also have much lower weapon pity as compared to a lot of the mainstream games. Now, it has its own separate issue with the character core stamps. I'm not saying it doesn't. However, it really, people need to put this into perspective. I think Wu is the best comparison I can make here, because they both have a max pity of 80 in both Bleach for the limited character banner and Wuwa for the, limited character banner. So, let's say you're trying to go for S2 on a character, right? Or you're just trying to pick up a best in slot team of S0s. Like, let's say Cardethia, Chikona, and then Chisa. This can cost you up to 480 pulls, if I'm not incorrect. Because you have an 80 pulls loss, then an 80 pulls win, then an 80 pulls loss, and an 80 pulls win. And then it keeps going like that, right? Because obviously you have the guarantee, so you win at least half the time. It just really sucks. You know what I'm saying? It really sucks having that, because that can put you down 480 pulls. Meanwhile, not only does Bleach Soul Resonance have a similar, if not higher, income of pulls as compared to, let's say, Wuwa, the weapon banner has 40 less hard pity and is also guaranteed, but also has the character banners guaranteed. So in Bleach Soul Resonance, the max amount of pulls I'd have to spend for a best in slot, 3 character team without their weapons, is, I believe, 240 pulls. That is an astronomical difference from 480. To put it in perspective, if I go over here, right, and we go into this purchase section, over here, around 12,960 Asterite is 100 USD, right? I'm Canadian, so it's even more expensive for me. But 100 USD for this much. Now, this around equates to 80 pulls, right? Now, keep in mind, the difference between guaranteeing 3 characters in Bleach Soul Resonance and Wuwa is 240 pulls. So that would cost you an extra $300 to catch up with Bleach Soul Resonance if you have bad luck and lose almost every 50-50, which I've unfortunately experienced recently with like Chisa and stuff, right? However, you need to consider this deal isn't permanent. This is a deal you only get once a year. So if you're actually trying to fully catch up to that, Bleach Soul Resonance mark, it'll actually cost you more than $300. and it'll probably end up putting you closer to 350 or 400, which is an absolutely insane amount if you ask me, right? Like, that is genuinely disgusting. And so something I realized, and while playing Bleach Soul Resonance, is I absolutely adore, I love being able to get guaranteed characters without the bullshit of a 50-50 gacha system. And so in the 2 weeks that I've been playing Bleach Soul Resonance, I've already dropped more money on it than I've dropped in WUWA, even though I've played WUWA since launch. And that is an insane thing to say, at least in my opinion, right? I've dropped about 55 to 60 USD on Bleach Soul Resonance instantly, just like that, because I know if I spend money and I buy enough pulls, I will always get the character guaranteed, and there's no fear factor of me possibly losing the 50-50. Imagine spending $100 on a character's banner, 80 pulls, you hit the pity, and you lose a 50-50, you don't get the character, despite the fact that you just paid pretty much GTA 6 to a gacha game, right? For one singular character, and then you might not see them on a banner for a quarter to half a year, right? That shit is absolutely despicable to me. Now, this doesn't only apply to WUWA. This applies to HSR, this applies to Genshin, this applies to a lot of other games. 50-50 system is disgusting. It should just be abolished. I don't know why this shit even exists in this day and age anymore, because the levels of predatory that it is, people don't even realize it. They're so blinded because they only play games and their favorite games have 50-50, they think it's not a big deal, right? Oh, I'm gonna play a game for an entire patch straight, if not longer, and possibly have the chance of not getting a single new character and not being able to progress my account any further at all. Like, do you understand how fucking bad that sounds? Right? Like, that's genuinely fucking despicable in my opinion. And once again, Bleach Soul Resonance has its own issues with, like, the character core stamps, which I think I've already talked about before, but it's just this pity system that, man, it really made me enjoy playing the game so much more, knowing that I can always get a character so long as I have enough pulls to hit pity in that game, right? If I don't get a character, it's because I didn't get them early enough. And in my opinion, that just feels 100 times better as compared to, oh, I did go all the way to pity, I did have enough pulls for it, but I lost the 50-50 to some character I don't give a shit about, so I just have to, you know, get lucky next time, right? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you guys agree with my opinion? I know a lot of people who watch me, they play HSR, they play these mainstream gachas, they probably don't play many gachas with a guaranteed system on the character banner, so I don't, you know, I don't want to like instantly call people who think this isn't that big of a deal like Kurobots or Hoyo shills, because it's just the environment that you've adapted to, right? However, for anyone out there who has played a gacha with like a guaranteed character system and you could guarantee a character every single patch, I gotta know your guys' opinions if you play like HSR and stuff. Do you feel the same way I do? I'm also just significantly more inclined to spend money on a game if I know I'm gonna get the character with the money I spent, right? Like, that's what makes it so easy for me in Bleach Soul Resonance, even despite the fact that the monthly pass and battle pass in that game are way higher value than the games like these. Like, bro, I spend money, I get pulls, I have a guaranteed chance of getting the character so long as I can hit pity. It just doesn't apply to these games, and it fucking pisses me off, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.